Hey, good afternoon. No, it's still morning time on the East Coast. Good morning. My name is Mark. I'm the founder of knapsack.com, nap-sack.com. And I just wanted to talk about inflation. So, if you're hearing that because of oil prices and all this other stuff and blaming it on, I guess, OPEC and so forth, on why inflation is so high, please throw it out the window. Don't believe it. So let's talk about a business. When a business, companies are created to make profit, and they hire people to help them make that profit. So there's a lot of expenditures that these companies have, and when that company spends more than they're bringing in, then they do what's called cutbacks and things like that because the revenue just can't, I guess the revenue just can't help the spending that this company's doing. So they cut back to help alleviate all that pressure and to get the spending below the revenue. And if the company starts making more, then they can hire more and spend more on other programs. Um, the government works off of revenue, believe it or not. They tax people, and there's taxes on just about everything, and they make money off of certain things. People do crime, they gotta pay all this and that, pay the government, so they make their money off of revenue. And if the if the country notices that if the government notices that the revenue is below the spending, then the government has to make those adjustments so that the government can still function. They have something called the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve is capable of printing money. Now, this is where the problem begins. Don't let anybody fool you that inflation is created by. Don't let anybody fool you that inflation is created by fuel or anything like that. Inflation is created by the government itself. So, as I mentioned, the Federal Reserve. When the government prints money with no reason, it's not coming in from other revenue or any other source. It's being printed with no backing, no nothing. And then they take that printed money and spend it on frivolous nonsense, not even to pay off the debt, which that's the most ironic thing to do when you're printing money. There's nothing to back it up. So the flow of income is basically invisible. It's made up. And you spend it on frivolous things without showing where that money came from, except from a printing machine, which I call it invisible money. Inflation goes up. That means gas prices, food, everything, goods and services go up. So don't let them fool you when they say that that all these other variables is causing inflation to happen in America or around the world. It is the Federal Reserve. It is this government, and only this government is creating inflation in America because they are printing money and it's going nowhere. They're printing money and it's spending it on basically junk. So please use that analogy I gave with companies and actually people, us. When we spend more than we make, we go into debt, and nobody's printing money for us or helping us. So don't let them fool you, and don't let liberals tell you otherwise. You're being played. Inflation is caused by the same people that's telling you otherwise. The government is causing the inflation. This is Mark Chinema. Thank you once again for listening to me. If you have any questions or concerns, you can reach me out on YouTube or go to knapsack.com and look for me. and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. Thank you and have a good day.